Hello, this is Attorney Doug Jones. I wanted to take just a minute and talk to you about wills versus trust. A lot of times people ask me what's really the difference in a will versus a trust, and is one as good as the other? In some cases they are. The important thing is just to have something. The American Bar Association said several years ago that 70% of the people out there have absolutely no estate planning in place at all. After 25 years of practice in law, I'm pretty sure this is true. Most people just don't have anything, so it's important to have something to say who your assets go to. In a will, that's exactly what happens. You say, upon my death, I want my assets to go to so-and-so. The only problem with that is when, usually upon the first spouse's death, there's not a probate, because spouses usually hold assets jointly. But when the first spouse dies and the assets pass to the second spouse, there is usually a probate, which is costly and time-consuming and could have been avoided. One way to avoid the probate process is by doing a revocable living trust, and you'll hear these called revocable trust, living trust, grantor trust, revocable living trust. There's several ways to refer to it, and that is just a document. Think of it as a box that holds title to your assets, and while you're living, you physically put your assets in a box by titling your assets from your name over to the name of your trust. And when you die, then there's just simply nothing in your name to go through probate. You've retitled all of the assets over to your trust. Now that's an overly simplistic way to look at it, but it's effective. That's what happens. Think of a box with no opening on the top, just the open box, and you're retitling assets over to the name of your trust. Your bank accounts, brokerage accounts, you do a deed from you as owner of your home over to yourself as trustee of your trust. Now you put it all in there. You can take it out at any time. You can put more assets in at any time. And upon your death, well, then the assets would just go directly who you wanted them to go to without probate. It works really well if in fact that's what happens to you, if you just die. But what happens if you don't just die? What happens if you're incapacitated before you die? In that case, and maybe you're in a nursing home and you need to apply for Medicaid assistance to pay for nursing home care. Well, in that case, a revocable living trust may not help you much. In most states, like Arkansas, assets in a revocable living trust are what's called available assets, which means they could be counted, and in many cases must be spent down before you could get Medicaid to pay long-term care. So in those cases, it's good to divide assets. Maybe put part of the assets over here in this box, which would be an irrevocable trust. A box with a top on it. You can put assets in, but you can't take it back out. That's a good way to hold legacy assets, which are assets that, like a farm, that's maybe been in a family for 2 or 3 generations that you would want to pass on to the kids when you die. You can put the assets over in an irrevocable trust, and they're there. And at your death, they pass to the kids, no probate, and after 5 years, now there's a 5-year look back for Medicaid planning purposes. After 5 years, then they're off the table. Other assets, maybe money, maybe your home. Again, you'd have to speak with your elder law attorney about that and look at the laws of your estate. Could be over in your revocable trust. The key is just to know that there's good ways to set your estate plan up to not only have your assets to pass to whom you want them to go to at your death, but also to provide for protection in the event of incapacity before you die, and also to protect your assets in the event of a long-term care stay before you die, to keep your estate from being wiped out. Well, I hope this information was useful to you. If you haven't done planning, the most important thing I hope you'll hear out of this is see an estate planning or elder law attorney today, and meet with them, provide all of the information that they need to prepare a proper estate plan for you, and get it done before something bad happens. Until next time, this is Attorney Doug Jones. Thanks for watching.